Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Valentine Sports Show. I am your host, Frank Rampin, alongside Sal Grinstead. Week 8 of the NFL season already here. Pretty crazy that we're already almost halfway through the NFL season. It would be halfway this week if it was the normal 16 games, but obviously that's not the case anymore. Thursday night football tonight in SoFi Stadium, Chargers-Vikings. Sal, how do you see this one going? This is kind of an interesting game. No J.J. McCarthy again. Carson Wentz is going to go out there. Chargers coming off of a tough loss against the Colts where they kind of got dominated on both sides of the ball. Both teams kind of looking for bounce-back performances here.
Yeah, Vikings, they had a tough loss too against the Eagles. And Carson Wentz, he played an okay game. It was the 2 picks that kind of hurt them. He's moving a lot better than we've seen the past few years. I mean, he hasn't moved like this since he was on the Eagles long time ago. But I mean, I don't see Chargers losing back-to-back. They're kind of on a skid right now, losing 3 out of 4. But I think their defense is going to kind of control this game. And I think Justin Herbert might have his way. I got the Chargers.
I feel like I've been kind of saying that same thing for the past couple of weeks. Ever since they started 3-0, they look really good, beat all the teams in the division. But since then, it's been really weird. But this Vikings team with Carson Wentz, it's just the Carson Wentz experience is so random every single week. You're going to get some great plays. You're going to get some absolutely horrendous plays. You're probably going to get a just wild intentional grounding call out of nowhere. But for that reason, I mean, you got to pencil Carson Wentz in at least 1, probably 2 turnovers in the game. Chargers have a good defense. Short week. I'm going to go with Chargers as well. No 9:30 game on Sunday for the first time, it seems like, all year. So I don't have to wake up at 9 a.m. to watch football on Sunday. So I'll sleep in after long Saturday of college football slates. One of the 1 o'clock games, Jets-Bengals, one of the probably the worst looking games on the matchup so far. The Jets are only winless team left in football in the NFL. And the Bengals just looked pretty good last week on offense with Joe Flacco playing at quarterback with probably the 2 best receivers he's ever thrown to. And yeah, Jets aren't, no way, right? Give me the ball. Give me Joe Cool and the Bengals. 6.5 point spread too, which I feel like is kind of big.
Is Tyrod Taylor starting this game over Justin Fields?
I think so. I don't know if it's confirmed. I saw Aaron Glenn get interviewed. I don't know if this was yesterday or Tuesday, where they asked him who was going to start. And he said, we will be starting a quarterback on Sunday.
I hope so.
Thank you, Aaron Glenn. I was hoping you'd say that. The Jets, I mean, maybe not. Maybe they just go Wildcat because they can't pass the ball anyway. So, but thank you for that one. We'll see what that means. Based on that response, I'm going to think it means Tyrod.
Yeah, this is going to be a beatdown for the Bengals. They might not score all that crazy much because Jets defense is really, really good. But, I mean, there's no way the Jets going to win. They might never win again. So I'm going to take the Bengals.
Honestly, dude, I think they're going to beat their ass. Jets defense is fine. I still think they're going to smoke them.
There's going to be a lot of turnovers on that Jets offense. That's going to put the Jets defense in a bad situation.
Keep going to the 1 o'clock. The Chicago Bears head to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Lamar Jackson returned to practice yesterday for the first time in 3 weeks. I'm not 100% positive he has practiced today. I haven't seen the updates yet, but it looks like it's tracking for him to play. It looks like the sports books think so as well because the Ravens are favored by 6.5 points. Bears look good. Defense leads the league in takeaways, so they've been good so far. I mean, when have you ever seen a 1-5 team as a 6.5 point favorite against a 4-2 team? Does that ever happen?
I was just getting ready to say that. That's absolutely absurd. I mean, obviously they're 1-5 because Lamar's missed, 3-4 games in a row?
3 games, I think he's missed. Plus
it wouldn't be that case if he was playing. But, I mean, they didn't look great with him playing. They still can't really run the ball with Derrick Henry. But, I mean, if they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, you have to believe that. And if they are, they got to win this game to go 2-5. I got the Ravens.
This one's really tough for me, honestly. Like, everything, my football senses are telling me to pick the Ravens, especially if Lamar's back. Like, they have to at some point turn this around a little bit, right? But the Ravens defense has been so bad all year. Like, even with Lamar only, the only chance they had was scoring 40 points to win. I don't know if I think the Bears are going to score 40 points in this game, but I do think that the Bears defense is good enough to stop the run a little bit, which they haven't done since week 1. Baltimore hasn't. I'm going to take Chicago in this one.
I like that.
And then, Sal, we got your Finns heading to Atlanta to play Michael Penix and the Falcons. Michael Penix did not practice yesterday with a knee injury, so his status is up in the air as of right now. And this could be, like we mentioned last week, Dylan Gabriel versus Tua, lefty quarterbacks. This could be back-to-back lefty quarterbacks, Penix and Tua, if Tua starts. Has that been announced? Is there any talk about that, Sal?
They said he would start, and McDaniel said I know for a fact he won't throw 10 interceptions this weekend. So,
oh yeah, I heard that.
I mean, that's just terrible to talk about your quarterback. I mean, you never want to think about him throwing 10 interceptions in a game. It's just absurd. I mean, we can get this out of the way. I mean, Bijan he might run for 250 yards against us. It doesn't matter. They can put me at quarterback, and the Falcons would beat the hell out of the Dolphins this weekend.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with you there too. I think I'm going to go with Atlanta here. And speaking of like higher ups talking about their players, did you hear Woody Johnson yesterday or 2 days ago?
No.
Owner of the Jets. Oh my goodness. So a lot of question about Aaron Glenn so far after he starts 0-7 as his first year as the Jets head coach. Sorry. And they asked Woody, what do you think about Aaron Glenn? And he was like, Aaron Glenn's not the problem. Aaron Glenn's fine. Quarterback sucks. He literally was like, our quarterback can't complete a pass. He said, when the quarterback can't complete a pass, it makes everybody look bad. Our defense has played well. Our special teams has done fine. I like Aaron Glenn. If we can complete a pass, that would look good.
Wow.
That's what he said. So a lot of confidence coming from higher ups in Miami and in New York. So good signs for both of those teams. They're both going to get their asses kicked this week. They have no culture and they're trash.
You know what's tough? Justin Fields, I've always liked him, and you always want to think he's going to turn around, but he has 14 career wins in 5 seasons. Oof. So it's hard to really, believe it's just unlucky every time. He just loses every weekend. He's never had more than 5 wins in a season. So you can't really say that's good quarterback play.
It is kind of crazy though, because think about a year ago today, right now, a year ago right now. He was 5-2 with the Steelers and looked very, very good. And then they benched him for us. That was a crazy, crazy move. And it looked like it was going to work for the first couple of weeks afterwards. And then, did that fall off a cliff? But I mean, maybe if he was in a situation the Jets, obviously the Bears, they're notoriously kind of bottom of the barrel teams. They're also notoriously not very good on offense. The Steelers was a solid organization. Maybe that had something to do with it. It helped him a little bit get some structure in his game, but just the Jets, even Aaron Rodgers, no one can go to the Jets and play well. It's first place. It really seems like it is.
I thought he was a great fit on the Steelers, and I was a little upset when he got benched. But I mean, with that kind of defense, I do understand going to Russ at the time because he controls the game. He doesn't turn the ball over very much. I mean, we've seen it a little bit this year, but historically he's pretty control of the game. So I understand the play with that. I mean, he's played with great defenses before. You look at the Legion of Boom. So I do understand that aspect of it last year.
I know some Steelers fans who didn't like it either. I know a Steelers fan who bought a Justin Fields jersey last year at the beginning of the season and was pissed when he got benched.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Bills at Panthers. Panthers look like a completely different football team this year, especially at home. They're undefeated in Carolina, and that's where the Bills will travel on this Sunday. I mean, man, this can be a very interesting game. Buffalo hasn't stopped the run at all, and Carolina's run the ball exceptionally well with Rico Dowdle. This could be a much closer game than a lot of people think. 7.5 point spread. I would be inclined to take the Panthers, to cover that. I almost think I might take the Panthers here. What do you think about this one, Sal?
This is a tricky game. I mean, the Bills started the year off red hot, going 4-0, and then they lose to the Patriots and then lose to the Falcons. So everybody feels kind of down on them, but they're going to come back out this weekend. Josh Allen might do some unbelievable things this weekend. I think it's going to be a beatdown in Carolina.
You think so? And also, I just remember this. No Bryce Young this weekend. Red Rifle, Andy Dalton's going to be starting for the Panthers, and last year, that guy played against the Raiders in Allegiant Stadium and looked like prime Tom Brady. It was unbelievable. Obviously, the Raiders' defense is a little bit worse than the Bills, I'd say, probably a little bit. But yeah, I'm inclined to say Bills here, but I think this is going to be a close game. For some reason, I think this could be close, but I think the Bills are going to end up winning. Got to get
Andy Dalton starting, huh?
Yeah, Andy Dalton.
I would bet on a few Bills turnovers.
Yeah, you think so?
I'd say at least 2 interceptions.
Let's go to San Francisco, headed to Houston to play the Texans. 2 teams that are on very different trajectories right now. San Francisco looks very, very good. Christian McCaffrey's carrying that banged up offensive unit. Defense is also, the whole team's just completely decimated. No quarterback, a bunch of receivers hurt, No Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa and Fred Warner, probably the best linebacker in all football. Absolutely tough, but Texans offense hasn't done anything all year long. They struggled last week in Seattle. It's just been very stagnant for them all year long. And give me the 49ers. I just think they're too well-rounded, even with their backups, and Kyle Shanahan's too good of a coach.
What's weird about this, the Texans are favored right now, as bad as they've looked in the past few weeks.
That's a Vegas game. They know something we don't, Sal.
Yeah, right? And they're 2-4, which is weird. I thought they were going to win last week and kind of bounce back. I don't know if Brock Purdy's going to be playing. I mean, all of them are questionable. Purdy's questionable. Pearsall's questionable. It's crazy to think. I mean, I don't know if Mac Jones goes to 5-1 on the year if he does start. So with that being said, I can see Texans getting a pick 6 on him, and I got Texans.
It's looking like it's going to be Mac Jones, and dude, honestly, I have confidence in Mac Jones in this Niners system with Kyle Shanahan calling the plays. He's been unbelievable. I have confidence in him managing this offense, especially if they just give it to McCaffrey every play. You know, that's a system for success.
You know, he's like 6th or 7th in receiving yards for the year.
Yeah, unbelievable. He's also on pace to break his. So in Carolina, he had that year where he had 1,000 and 1,000, right? He had 120 receptions that year, which is just absurd. He's on pace to break that this year, which would be the most ever by a running back. So he's just he's a running back and a receiver at the same time. And I don't know if you noticed, we didn't bring this up. I should have said this on the breakdown episode. When Monday night, or was it Sunday night? Sunday night they played. That 3rd and 13 where they converted to basically put the game away. The Falcons, first of all, they had 10 people on the field for that play. So brutal. But Christian McCaffrey lined up in a wide receiver stance. Like, you know, in the CFL where they're lined up like 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage and they run through, he was lined up in the backfield. Like as a running back, he was in the running back stance. He just went out to like the slot receiver position, but he didn't go up to the line of scrimmage. He just went into a receiver stance 5 yards behind the line and just went out for a pass. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. And clearly they had nobody to cover him with 10 people on the field.
I don't think you could cover him with 15 people on the field.
Yeah, you're right. Big rematch in the NFC East this weekend. Eagles play the Giants again, this time in Philadelphia. Big game for Philly after winning in Minnesota, but losing to the Giants earlier. Still tons of question marks about Philly. A lot of people don't like them, even though Jalen Hurts just had maybe the greatest game he's had in his career. Perfect passer rating, over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns. 7.5-point spread. The Eagles are favorite. I think the Eagles are probably going to win this game. Like, I don't see the Giants going into the link and beating them. Like, maybe they'll hang around for a little bit, but I just don't see them sweeping them on the season. Give me Philly.
I don't remember the last time the Giants swept the Eagles.
Yeah.
Or I guess the other way around. Eagles kind of done it the past few years, but I don't even know if they did it with Eli Manning. Like, it's really hard to go into Philadelphia and win a game there. And I think in the most Giants way possible, Saquon's probably going to run for 150 this week and kind of get back on track, because that's just going to take all the wind out of the sails in New York when you see Saquon doing it to you guys.
For sure.
And you could have had him. I got the Eagles.
And it's always funny to think about this matchup, like historical rivalry, right? But it seems like most of the time it's a great game when they play at MetLife or the Meadowlands. But whenever they go to Philly, that Philly crowd, Giants don't like going down there. But when they come up to play in New Jersey, always weird things. Both the Miracles at the Meadowlands, obviously, crazy games that Sean Jackson punt return, just wild finishes in the history of that rivalry. But Coach Plus going to pick Philly here. Last game in the 1 o'clock window, Browns at Patriots. And this is actually going to be an interesting game for me. I'm interested to watch this game for one reason. And Drake May has been unbelievable, right? He's played great. They have had a little bit of an easy schedule. Obviously, they came in last, so they have a 4th place schedule for this year. This is a good defense. Sure, the Browns are the Browns, but this is a very, very good defense. If Drake May can have success against this defense, it'll be a big, big statement and probably propel him into the MVP conversation. Like Jordan Love, all these guys that are high-profile quarterbacks played the Browns and haven't done so well. If Drake May can do it, I think it'll be a big, big step in the right direction for him and the Patriots. So give me the Patriots in this game.
I like that. If the Browns win this game, it's going to be a 13-10, 16-10 game. I mean, outside of last weekend when they played Miami, they can't really score, but their defense can keep them in any game. I see the Patriots winning a tight one, but I don't see Drake May like having an unbelievable game. He's been unreal all year, but I'd say it's probably the best defense he's played all year. This Browns front seven,
and
it's unreal. So I got the Patriots, but I got it in a really tight game, and I'm probably taking the under.
Okay. I like that. It's going to be an interesting game for that Patriots offensive line. Like, obviously, we know the Browns defense, but that defensive line is very good, especially Will Campbell. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have Myles Garrett lined up on him, the rookie left tackle. So we'll see how that matchup goes. And if Will Campbell can give Drake May some time, it'll be very interesting to see. But if he's running his first life for the freak Myles Garrett, could be interesting. And you could see a 13-10 game. So now let's go into the 4:00 slate. Division rivalry in the NFC South. Tampa Bay Buccaneers head down to New Orleans to play the Saints. 1-6 Saints, but this is only a 3.5-point spread for Tampa Bay. Maybe the books are a little bit down on them after a kind of an ass whipping in Detroit last week, but I don't know. Spencer Rattler and the Saints have hung around in a lot of games, and I guess all the wins the Bucs have had have been in the last second, but on paper, these two teams seem like they're very lopsided, right?
It feels weird that the spread is that low, but then you kind of think back on every game they play. And when they play in New Orleans, Saints usually win no matter what against the Bucs. So it kind of makes you want to go the Saints way. Obviously, they're 1-6. They're not a very good football team. I'm going to take the Saints on this one. Wow. I got to go against. I'm going against my boy Baker, and it really hurts to do, but I got Rattler.
Low total on this one too, 46.5. Looks like the books are kind of favoring a low-scoring game, and that probably would favor New Orleans. I would say. But I mean, if Baker's anywhere near at the end of the game, he's going to come back and beat the Saints, I think. So Baker and the Bucs to go to 6-2.
It's probably the veteran pick. I'm going out on a limb.
Hey, you never know, dude. We've been very hovering around 500, so you could change the ones you think are kind of locks, and you never know. Titans Colts in Indianapolis. Indianapolis Colts playing in Indy at 425. That's pretty rare. That doesn't usually happen. So that's what the NFL is respecting this Colts team after demolishing the Chargers last week and really looking dominant. 6-1, the best team in the AFC so far. They play the Titans, who have obviously 1-6, one of the worst teams in the AFC, one of the worst teams in all of football. 14.5-point spread. 14.5 is a wild number.
It's a lot in the NFL, man.
That's a crazy number.
Oh, I mean, Colts are the number one seed right now. They're the best team in the AFC. They're 6-1, one loss, and it's going to stay that way. They're going to go 7-1, and it's looking like one of the greatest stories in NFL. I mean, Daniel Jones has been elite. I got the Colts.
Yeah, give me the Colts too. I don't know how you're going to take the Titans in this one, especially how well-rounded the Colts have been all year. And I mean, Jonathan Taylor and Christian McCaffrey, we talked about McCaffrey earlier, but both those guys need to be talked about in MVP conversation. And I know Saquon had 2,000 yards and didn't win last year, which is a whole other conversation, which is wild. But man, Jonathan Taylor's on pace for 24 touchdowns and 1,600 yards. Like, he's been unbelievable. And 3 games so far with 3 touchdowns. That's absurd. Dallas Cowboys head out to Denver and Mile High to play the Broncos. Denver 3.5-point favorites. This could be an interesting game. Dallas has the number 1 ranked offense in the league, but they've been much better inside the friendly confines of Jerry World. They average over 40 points at home, just about 24.5 on the road. They had a tough game where they lost in Carolina, where they just ran through in this game. So the run defense, the defense in general, is going to be a big story for Cowboys in this game. And obviously, the Broncos defense is pretty solid, one of the top units in football. Last week, they did okay against the Giants, held them to 19, or what was it? Ended up being 32, but 19 points until late in that game. Just a very weird ending to that game, but this is an interesting matchup. A lot of people high on the Cowboys, and I think I've said it multiple times this year. I am not. I'm going to take the Broncos. I just see the Cowboys offense having a little bit of trouble, and I don't think their defense is going to stop anybody.
This is weird. It's so hard to go into Mile High and win a game. It feels like every game there is just so difficult. I mean, you have the altitude change. It's so
fan
hard.
Base is awesome too.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I would love to go to a football game there. But with that being said, this Cowboys offense, I mean, they're finally clicking on all cylinders with CD Lamb back. And, you say everybody's high on the Cowboys. I feel like everybody's high on the Broncos too.
That's true.
I don't necessarily believe in Bo Nix and the Broncos. He's not my favorite quarterback. I feel like you could kind of put anybody else on that team right now, and they would be doing the same thing. He's not really doing anything outstanding. And Dak is continuing to be around the MVP talk. I'm going to take the Cowboys to upset in Mile
High. Wow. One thing I will say about Bo Nix, I kind of feel like he has almost like a Jackson Dart sort of effect to that team. Like obviously Jackson Dart sparked the Giants and they are behind him and they play with a different sort of fire when he's playing at quarterback. I kind of sense the same thing with Denver and Bo Nix. Like he is their spiritual leader and like he's their guy. He's their rock. Like I feel like he changed them as a team overall. Obviously that defense is lights out and it has been for the past couple of years. But once he came in, you could see like there's just a level of confidence with that team that I think he brings.
I would completely agree. And Cortland Sutton is almost unguardable. That guy is unreal in clutch time. They just continue to find ways to win late in games. So they're obviously a very, very tough team. And Sean Payton's a great coach. And him and Russell Wilson kind of had some words last weekend. But,
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. That actually was so funny. I never seen Russ do anything like that. I love it. That was awesome. Also, Cortland Sutton might be the most like underrated receiver in all of football. He's been like this for basically his entire career, and nobody really ever talks about him. He's great. He's really good.
He's one of the most sure-handed receivers in the game right now. You throw him the ball, he's gonna catch it.
And he's a big body too. He's a big, athletic dude, strong guy who can catch everything. He's great. And let's go to Sunday Night Football, one of the most anticipated games really of the season. The Green Bay Packers head to Pittsburgh to play their old quarterback, the guy they ran out of town for Jordan Love, old man Aaron Rodgers. This could be a very, very interesting game. Micah Parsons, too, against a kind of shaky Steelers offensive line after coming off a 3-sack game last week. Right now, the Packers are 3.5-point favorite. They have a pretty low total on this game, which kind of makes sense to me. But this could be a very interesting game. I know Rodgers is definitely going to want to win this game. He always is very petty about everything. Even if he says this is not a revenge game, he knows it is a revenge game. What do you think about this one, Sal? This could be a very interesting football game. I don't know how I feel about this one right now.
This is one of the biggest games I've been waiting for all year. I mean, you think back to when Brett Favre left and then he went to the Vikings and then beat the Packers his first time back. It's just the nerves you feel in that. It's unbelievable. And Aaron Rodgers has been waiting his whole time since he left.
3 years. 3 years.
He's been waiting. He hadn't had the opportunity. He would have had it the first year on the Jets, I believe, before he got hurt.
Oh, really?
He's been waiting. He's been waiting for this game, and I mean, I think he's going to do what Brett Favre did and beat his the person he taught to how to play quarterback, and Jordan Love, like Brett Favre did to him. I think he teaches him another lesson, and Aaron Rodgers is going to take this one.
I think I'm agreeing with you. I think I'm leaning that way as well. I feel like a lot of people think that the Packers defense is going to have a great game in this one. Now, Micah's going to have another great day in this one, but I don't know. I just feel like the media as a whole has a little bit of a grudge against Aaron Rodgers, and they don't like to pick him to win. So I think he also puts that as fuel too. So I'm going to take Rodgers and the Steelers in this one. I don't know if I really like football think that, but there's just something I think Rodgers is going to come out and have a great day. And one more thing I got to mention about this game, Sal. Packers Steelers, two of the most iconic franchises in all sports, for sure the NFL, two of the most iconic uniforms in all of sports, most identifiable uniforms in all of sports, and they botched the game. Did you see what the Steelers are going to be wearing in this game, Sal?
No.
This actually might make me change my pick. The Steelers are deciding to wear these god-awful throwback jerseys that just don't make any sense. I've never seen them wear ever, and they're hideous. And one thing that makes it even worse, yellow helmets, Sal. Both of these teams are going to be playing with yellow helmets. Like, what are we doing?
That's crazy.
These are iconic teams with iconic uniforms. Why are we not just putting those out there? Just brutal. Don't understand why they'd pick it for this game, especially in prime time against the Packers. Like, what are we doing? But yeah, I get not enough. I'm going to go with the Steelers still in their terrible, god-awful, yellow, terrible jerseys. So we're both going with an upset there at home in Pittsburgh. And then one more game, Monday night in Kansas City. Yay. We all get to watch Mahomes in primetime again. We love it, right? And guess what? He doesn't have the starting quarterback to play against. Jaden Daniels out for the game. He's going to have to play against Marcus Mariota. And you know what that's probably going to mean? Massive blowout. But if you recall, Marcus Mariota has some history in Kansas City in his career. When he was on the Tennessee Titans, he went there and beat them in the playoffs. So he's got some history there. Not on Monday night. Chiefs are going to win by 20.
Was that the game where he threw the ball
himself,
got it down, caught it, scored touchdown?
Yep.
Unbelievable. I remember that game. It was crazy.
11.5 points. The Chiefs are favored. So,
oh, man. This is it's 12.5 now, actually. Just changed.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a beatdown, and if it's not, it's gonna be, helped in every favor that the Chiefs will win this game. So yeah, this is a no-brainer. I'd probably take Chiefs spread as well. If I had to guess, Travis Kelce probably gets in the end zone today.
Rasheed Rice is
or
going to
Monday.
score again.
You think he's gonna have 3 in 2 weeks? He could.
They're going to feed him again. Did you see how much they fed him in that game? They're going to give him the ball so many times.
I think Kelce gets in this weekend and does some weird shit that he always does when he scores.
Of course, yep. Of course, it's always fun to watch him be a very humble stand-up guy after he makes big plays. I love it. All right, so those are our predictions. What are we right now, Sal? We're both like one game over 500.
I'm 19 and 14. You're 17 and 16. Okay. So I got 2 games on you right now.
Okay, so I need to bake my way a little bit higher over 500 here. Just a slim margin for me.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for us here. Week 8 predictions. Make sure you turn tonight. Amazon Prime. Going to be a great game tonight. And then an unbelievable weekend of football, college, and NFL. So hopefully you enjoyed this one. For Sal Grinstead, I'm Frank Rampin. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.